Good morning, everybody. Um, Sitting at the back signal to everybody on the Discord. Uh, yeah, I'm just setting up some stuff.
You know when people say to buy below to open and sell above, is it just how do you look at the opening candle? I still don't get that. Like when you look at the New York Open at midnight every time, I guess you have to have the bullish or seller's bias.
You say, but say that
Sorry,
again.
my baby.
Oh no, your
When
baby
it says
fine.
to buy below the New York Open and to sell above, I guess it depends on the bias that you have. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm going to just buy below the open or sell above the open."
Yeah, yeah. Everything gonna start with the bias, right? The bias. It's all about the bias. It's Hold on. Let me share my screen. Uh. Okay. All right. Can you see my screen there?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. So looking at my screen, let me share my screen with y'all on the tube too. Talking to somebody in the Discord. Let me share my screen with y'all on the tube. Um. All right. So when it
Oh,
um
it just says watch stream.
huh?
It just says watch stream.
Okay.
Oh, I see it. I see it now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I gonna say you got the. I think you got the click on it. All right. So you see the screen. You see my little fancy dancing mouse moving around on the
Yes,
screen.
yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So um let's all right. Let me let me hide all this stuff on here. And then so everything is based off your bias and your draw. Okay.
Okay,
So
okay.
all right, let's find Friday. Um Thursday. Okay, this is Friday. Here. We're gonna let me do it like this right here. Make it easy on myself. All right, so let's go to 1 day candles. All right, I'm gonna put it in replay mode here, and we're gonna chop off. Okay, we're gonna chop off. We're gonna go with Thursday. All right, just so I'm making it
Okay.
easy on myself so that we can find something. Cause you know how I always be telling y'all, okay, when you go back and study price, look at the day, see what it did, and then go into that day and study it as if you had that bias and you understood where the draw was going to be and then study the price. So we're going to look at this day here. It's Thursday, and we see that on Thursday, we went up, took out the highs, and came down, took out the lows, whatever. So we're going to go into this day and study it, right?
Yes.
So let's go in. We're going to go in there. We'll go down to like 60 minutes. Right, go to 60 minutes, and then we're gonna map out like the beginning and the end of the day. So let's go to Wednesday at 6 p.m. That's the beginning of Thursday, and then that's the end of Thursday there, right? So that's the start of our day. We're gonna say, okay, we were bearish for the day, right?
Yes.
That was our bias. We understood that we was bearish, so we was looking for reasons to sell.
So.
Right.
Mhm.
So when it comes to any open, right? When it comes to any open, it can be a daily open, it could be a session open, it could be a candle open. Any open,
Yes.
you know how I always talk about the open, high, low, and close. Everything has an open, high, low, and close. If you're
Yes.
bearish, if you're bearish, you want to sell in the premium, and most the you really want to be selling above the open if possible, right? So, and that's with a session and anything. So that's relate to like your New York Open, right? So if you're bearish, you want to sell in a premium and also be selling above a open. That's like optimum, right? So
Oh, okay.
if
That
we
makes
look
sense.
at like we're gonna say uh fine, where's midnight? This right here
Let's see.
is midnight right here, right? So this is the midnight candle, right? That right
Yes.
there is the that's the daily, or that's the open of the day, right? That's the like this is the futures open, but this is like the open of the day for
Midnight.
this day,
Yes.
midnight, right? And
Yes.
then so we're bearish, and you see the futures they started here and we went up, right? To
Yes.
give us an opportunity to sell. And then once we went up above the open of the day, price immediately sold off, right? And so
Oh, yes, I see that.
whenever you're trying to validate your bias, right? Sometimes you won't get this move up here if you're waiting for the confirmation, and there's nothing wrong with waiting for the confirmation. So the confirmation that your bias is right when you're bearish is that when price went above the open, when price went
Yes.
above the open, it like sold off really strongly, right? So that right
Yes.
there was like confirmation, like, oh, my bias is right. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that looks
Because
really good. Yeah,
yeah,
that one looks really good.
all right,
And I
and
can do it on the 1 hour or 15 minute. Yes.
yeah, price is
Yes.
fractal, and
Yes.
what you want to do, you want to carry your bias. No, the baby fine. You don't have to shush the baby. Um, you want your bias to come from the higher time frames, and you want to wait for the lower time frames to confirm your bias. And I don't know if you've been on the lives with us while we was doing like the
Yes.
study halls and the
Yes. Yes. I
okay,
always
so
catch up after with the baby sometimes. So yes.
yeah, so
Otherwise, I
basically
wouldn't be there.
what you're doing, what you're looking at, right? Like whatever time frame, like you want to try to use like the higher time frames for your bias. Like I like to use like the weekly, the 4 hour, the 15 and the one, them the ones I like to use, right? But
Yes.
just say if you're using like um the daily, right? You can use like the daily, the 15, the one. You see what I'm saying? Like you like your two
Yes.
time frame down, you know what I'm saying, thing there. So if you got like a just say if we're going off of like a daily, right? Right? If we're
Yes.
going off of a daily and we're anticipating price to come down here, when we go two time frames down to 1 hour, right, we can start to see our market maker model starting to play out. You see what I'm saying? And like, and if we
Okay.
and we're on the hour 1 hour, if we go down to 5 minute, you know what I'm saying, it starts to become a little bit more clear of like the market maker model. So if you waited for the confirmation here and you didn't get in on this move, now that we're,
Yes.
because that was on the hourly chart that we was watching, and that's where we got our confirmation there. So if we go two time frames down from the hourly, once we get this move, now we know we're on the right side. Now all we got to do is look for an opportunity to short here at this
Oh yes.
redistribution right there. Right. So once we got our confirmation. When we come down here to this area consolidation, then all we got to do is wait for an opportunity to get short over here to participate in the move.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you're just going to be looking for, and if it don't give you an opportunity to get like this is let's
Let's say
find,
the yeah.
we finding the nine, we looking for like the 9:30 open. Let's just say if it don't give you an opportunity to get short
Yes.
above the open, right? No harm, no foul. It's like this is just the better opportunity above the open. That's the most optimum, right? But sometimes price ain't gonna come all the way back up there. And then that's when you
Right.
use your clues. You look at your clues to see what is price going to do. Like in this case, if you was waiting for price to come back up to the
Yes.
and get this out of the way. If you was waiting for price to come back up here, right? if you was waiting for price to come back above the open, and then this was our confirmation move coming down here. So when we get down here and we start chopping, and you see, okay, here we go, we're consolidating here, and we push up into this, we push up into this imbalance right here, right? And you notice how we're like, you notice how we're respecting this. You see what I'm saying? We're respecting that fair value gap, and then price shows you I don't want to continue to go up, because we come up here, we're doing this, just engineering liquidity, right? And when we push up to the fair value gap, right, we break down, and then we push up, and we don't take out the high, right? And then we break down again. So if you didn't get short on this fair value gap here, they give you opportunity to get short there, opportunity to get short there. But if you were still waiting for price to come up here, when you see this breakdown here, right? When you see this breakdown here, now okay, it's not coming back there, so I need to make a decision somewhere. You see what I'm saying? So it's like you just have to start to wait. You wait for your confirmation, and then once you get the confirmation, you just have to trust the process and go in. Is it going to be 100% all the time? No, but usually when price shows its hand with a move like this right here, right, it's not going to offer you too many opportunities to get in and participate, because what I always say, the job of like the mitigation blocks and the breakers, right, is to trap and punish. Right. So once you start forming breakers, it's not going to be letting people get back out. It don't, what I'm saying, it want to give you less and less opportunity to mitigate your loss.
Yeah. Okay. That's really helpful.
Okay. And if you got other questions, just feel free to pull up. You can even like drop something in the Discord where it be like questions for Big Spider. You can drop it in there. Yeah, I love running my mouth. So
yeah, I just happened to log in and I saw someone wasn't your voice.
Yeah. Matter of fact, we're about to do the overnight price action right now. So just hang out and watch.
Yep. Okay. I'll mute myself. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? How are you feeling today? Who's Chris? Is that Timothy's alarm? How are you today? What's up, Rhonda? What's going on here to learn and share? Good morning to you. The birds are chirping. What's up, Tish? What's going on? What's going on, E-Rock? What's up, Lil Hawk? What's going on? Marco, welcome, Marco. Marco is the newest member of the gang. Glad to see you hanging out with us, Marco. What's going on? I think Marco the newest member. I haven't checked it in a couple of days to see if we got any new members. Let's do that real quick. Let's see if Marco is the newest member. While I'm saying Marco is the newest member, it might be somebody out there that's newer than Marco. Man, these people try to be crazy these days on Diddy, man. Like they going Diddy crazy out here. Look at that. Hold on, let me share put my screen back up. These folk going Diddy crazy out here, man. Look at this. Look at this right here. Look at that. How Diddy got me. They going crazy on Diddy out here, man. They going crazy on Diddy out here, y'all. I saw one with like how it be when you side the Diddy, and they they had Diddy to slip somebody the rapper something in his drink, and they had like a person that was acting like they I guess it was supposed to be Justin Bieber, but I can't remember the name, but it was close to the name Justin Bieber. So it's supposed to be Justin Bieber, and Diddy was like abusing him. You're like, no, man, you're supposed to say no to Diddy, man. You're supposed to say no to Diddy. And Diddy drugged him. Diddy drugged the rapper and took advantage of him. And the next day, The rapper came in here like, hey man, I don't think I'm gonna sign this, Diddy. I don't think I'm gonna sign this. He was like, oh man, Diddy was like, oh, you ain't even seen the video. He was like, what video? Yeah, he showed him the video. They blurred out the computer screen on it. He was like, is that me? Yeah, Marco. Marco is the latest member of the gang. Welcome, Marco, man. I just went and checked it out. Marco is the latest member of the gang. Signed up for the mentorship. And Marco, please take it. I don't know how long you've been tapped in. To Tim's Tidbits. But if you're relatively new to it, make sure you what's up, Kareem? Make sure you go back and check out the prior mentorship videos, right? Go back and check out the prior mentorship videos. I think we on week 11. Was it week 11, y'all? We just did week 11 breakers. I think it was week 11. Make sure you check out the prior videos and make sure you go through. Yes, internet is undefeated. Go through the prior videos and make sure and start doing the homework. Ain't no rush. You don't have to rush and try to do it all. We tomorrow is Wednesday. We got homework review tomorrow. Y'all make sure I put the software I use to record my screen, the Streamlabs OBS. Y'all make sure y'all download the Streamlab OBS, right? Before we and then when we get on there, if you don't know how to set it up, I'll walk through helping you set it up, so that because I no longer record the homework reviews, right? It was a decision I made because I'm like, hey, I'm taking my time to do it, and I only want people who serious about it, So make sure you download the Streamlab OBS. Wednesdays at 7:00, we do the homework review. And what was I about to look at over here? Oh yeah. We do the homework review. So tomorrow night we're gonna be doing a homework review, but you don't have to try to rush and do it all, because you can any question that you got, we can take care of it. So if you go into the playlist and it says the art of reading price action, right? That one right there. So these are the videos that's in there. We're up. We just did number 11. Okay, so you want to go back through and watch these and do the homework that's sitting there, because the way I'm trying to lay it out is in a way that makes sense in my mind and help me in the way I actually read price action and that way I actually trade. So I'm trying to lay it out in a way that's, that makes sense. That's kind of like straightforward. But go back through, look at the videos, do the homework, and then pull up Wednesday nights at 7 for the homework review. The second Sunday, right, is dedicated to the mentees. But as a mentee, you get access to the first, second, and third Sunday Q&A. You get access to 3 Q&As as a mentee because it's the highest tier. First Sunday is Black Spiders, Gold members, and the mentees got access to that. Second Sunday is only the mentees, and the third Sunday is the Black Spider and the mentees got access to that. So anytime on the first, second, or third Sunday or a Wednesday night, feel free to ask questions about the mentorship videos, whatever video you're in, whatever area you have made it to, just ask questions about it and we'll break it down and get that question asked. You don't have to feel pressure to say, oh man, they're in week 11. Now I'm way behind. I don't care if you way back here on open, high, low, close, right? If you got a question about that right there, ask your question and we'll get you there. Don't feel no pressure to have to try to catch up with the rest of the class. It's self-paced. Self-paced. All right. Speaking of self-paced, Apex extended their 90% off until I think the 30th. I think it's the 30th. They extended the 90% off until the 30th, I believe. 31st. The 30th at the 30th at yes. So 2 days, 14 hours, right? So the 14 hours is for the rest of the day, right? So then that's 1, 2. Yeah. So midnight. Yeah. So the 31st, midnight of the 30th. So Thursday at midnight, the 90% off 1 day evaluation ends, right? They extended, so for those that's been asking about the 90% off, the 90% off is still going on. I have a link. I got a link in the description down there. So if you're ready, use my link. Don't go use nobody else's link. Use my link. Let me get my 15% of, let me get my $2. Let me get my $2 and some change. If you get a 25K account, let me get my $2 and some change. Now, people be asking which one they should get. I always say get the 25K, right? The reason why, let me explain why I say get the 25K, right? Now, I know you may think, but Tim, if I'm trying to pass it in 1 day, you don't have to pass it in 1 day, right? They just offer you the opportunity to pass it in 1 day, right? We're going to get to the overnight price action in a minute, right? So if you look at the accounts, right, let's go to the biggest one, right? So the biggest one, right, your profit goal is 20,000, right? And your max drawdown, your trailing drawdown is 7,500. Okay. So what does that mean? That means you're allowed to have 7,500 of drawdown. It's trailing drawdown. So as the trade moves in your favor, right, you're allowed for it to come back against you up to 7,500, right? But you got to make 20,000, right? So 20,000 divided by 7,500, right? That's over 2.5 times the drawdown, right? Right. So let's just say if you a kind of person that want to go in and go full port and you're going to risk the full drawdown on one trade to try to make it, right? So that means you got to get over 2.5 times. So it's got to be like almost close to a 3-to-1. It's got to be a 2.66 to 1. Let's just say it's got to be almost a 3-to-1 trade in order to pass it, right? And as you go down, right, it like the requirement lessens. Like that's 15,000 to 6,500. That's a little over 2-to-1. That's 9,000 to 5. That's less than 2-to-1, right? That's less than 2-to-1. That's exactly 2-to-1 on the 100K. It's exactly 2-to-1, right? And then as you go down, you see, but when now you get all the way down here to 25K, is only 1-to-1, right? The 50K is a good one too, right? That's I think that's like 1.2-to-1 or something, right? Like that, right? Divided by 2,500. Yeah, that's like a 1.2-to-1 on the 50K. The 50K is decent too, right? But the reason why I just say go for the 25K is because you only have to get $1,500. It's easy to get $1,500 if you got a profitable strategy. It's easy to get there. Very low threshold. It's the easiest threshold to hit is 1-to-1. This is 1.2-to-1, and they get higher and higher and higher, right? Easy threshold to hit. So mentally, it helps you out because it's not going to take you a long time to pass it if you do it very sensible, right? It's not going to take you a long time to pass it. And because once you pass it and you pay your assignment fee, you literally got to pass it again plus $100 in order to qualify for a payout. So you got to pass it twice in essence, right? So you got to pass it, pay your assignment fee, and then meet the threshold again before you can qualify for a withdrawal. And then if you do it the smart way, like I suggest, you put a cushion on top of that so that you don't risk blowing your account. So think about it. If you just say, if you want to keep a $500 cushion on top of your, because once you pass it, your trailing drawdown stops at $100 above your threshold, right? Your profit goal. So if you want to keep a $500 cushion there so that you won't have no risk of blowing your PA account, right? Over here, you just have to get above, you just got to keep 2,100 in this account, right? Keep 2,100, and then everything above 2,100, you just withdraw it out. But over here, right, you got to keep 3,000. You got to keep 3,500 over here, right? So that's a bigger target you got to keep, right? And then over here, you got to keep, y'all get it, 4750. It's like the target getting higher and higher and higher, and it start to mess with you mentally, man. That's why I just say, hey, just go with the smaller accounts, because guess what? Even with the smaller account, you still get to keep $25,000 right here. They tell you right here. Where is it? Right here. You still get to why Apex. Right there. You still get to keep the first $25,000. Receive 100% of the first $25,000 per account and 90% beyond that. I don't care if you got a 25K or a 250, like they promote in the 250 right now. They promote in the stank out of the 250, right? Right now, you can get a 250 account for 16. You can get it for the same price as the 50K. You can get it for $16.70 with the 90% off, because they got it marked as the same. They put it as the same price of the 50K, right? They put it as the same price as the 50K over here, right? 167 with 90% off. Okay. And then they got the lifetime assignment fee marked at $85 for the 50K right now, right? The lifetime assignment fee of $85. So they promoting the stank out of this. But my personal humble opinion is a $15,000 profit goal. This right here is just for people who want to go in and gamble with huge size in order to try to pass these things. If you're not trying to go in and gamble with huge, because think about it, you got to make $15,000 to pass it. Then you got to make $15,100 just to qualify for a payout. Right? Now, by the time you make $15,000 to pass it, and then $15,000 to qualify for a payout, over here, you've already made enough money to take out how many withdrawals? Because you make $1,500, then you make $1,600 to qualify for a payout, and then if you making $15,000, right, the first 10-day period, if you're trading consistently, you ain't gambling, the first 10-day period over here, you can take out $1,500. The next 10-day period, you can take out $1,500. The next 10-day period, you can do that every 10-day period for the first 3 months. You can take out $1,500 if you trading every day and you making the the goals. You can take out $1,500 every 10-day period. And then after them 3 months, then there's no cap on what you can take out. Right? So while you're trying to pass this 15K and gambling, you could just be trading smart and taking withdrawals over here in the smaller account. I'm going to get off my soapbox now because the market is open. The market is open. The market is open. If you're going to trade, please trade safe. If you're not going to trade, please take a copious amounts of notes so you can go back and study what you saw today. Now, let's get into the overnight price action review. Oh, I didn't do my intro. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Now that I'm 31 minutes into this, if this is your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, please allow me to say welcome. If it's not your first time tuning into Tim's Tidbits, I still want to say welcome, but I want to greet you with a nice, hearty, well, thank you for always tuning into Tim's Tidbits. If you don't know who I am, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Big Spider, a.k.a. Aranya Grande, for those who are hablo español. And you are now tuned into another episode of the Overnight Price Action Review. Now that the intro is out the way, 32 minutes into it, y'all, let's get to it, man. The Overnight Price Action Review. We are looking at the ES. We're going to go to 15 minute. I just like to watch price on the 15 minute. It give you a nice detailed look at stuff without missing too much. All right, let us go to, this was a long weekend, so Monday is just lumped into Sunday and Monday is just lumped into the Tuesday's daily candle. Let's find Friday at right there, Friday at 6 p.m. Right, Sunday at 6 p.m. Right, so Sunday and Monday's trading is all lumped. If I go to a daily chart, you see that there's only one daily candle there, right? Even though it's Tuesday, right? This is Friday, right? Since it was a holiday, Sunday and Monday's trading is lumped into Tuesday's daily candle. All right, so this is all holiday trading right there, right? This is all holiday trading right there. So price, it was a holiday trade. Wasn't nobody trading for real. I wasn't even watching the market, so I don't know if anybody was trying to watch the market during this time, but I wasn't. Okay, so we opened up, we traded down, had a nice little, quick little sell-off there. We came down, pushed up into this SIBI that was created at 715. Then we had another sell-off where we took out the sell side up under, took out the short-term sell side, did not take the low. Let's see if we hit consequent encroachment of this wick from 3 o'clock on Friday. Did not get to the consequent encroachment, came close to it. The consequent encroachment was 53.12, and the low of this candle right here was 53.12.50. So 2 ticks off the consequent encroachment of that wick. We did come here on the right tool. We did come down to that order block right there. That order block is the open price of that order block is 53.12.50 exactly, and the low of that candle was 53.12. 53.12.50 exactly. So we came down to the opening price of that order block, and then proceeded to push back up. That order block was created on Friday at 10:30 a.m. And whoa, check that out. Check that out. Nothing. Y'all remember when I told y'all about nothing in price is an accident? Right there. I don't know if y'all can see the timestamp on the bottom of my screen, but this order block was created at 10:30 a.m. on Friday. Right? Can y'all see the time of that candle that stabbed down into the opening price to the tick of that order block? For those who need glasses like myself and cannot see that, it says 10:30 p.m. 10:30 p.m. stabbed into the opening price of that 10:30 a.m. order block to the tick. There is beyond the knowledge of you an algorithm that runs these markets right. You can believe if you choose to, and you can ride off into the sunlight. There is an algorithm that controls the market. There is an algorithm. For those who attend church and sing old hymnals, please tell me the name of that hymnal that I was using the melody of to to speak extemporaneously just then. Okay, once we tapped into the order block, let me stretch this out some. My little brother be on his phone. He'd be like, "Man, make the screen big, man." We pushed up into this 10 p.m. Sibby right there. Respected it a tad bit, but we quickly pulled back into this 11 p.m. Bissy, right? And continued up. This is when we was doing the study hall. This is the kind of stuff that I was talking about, right? When you're pushing back up into a PD array, right? The algorithm gives you clues if you're on the wrong side. So when we dropped here, this teachable moment is being brought to you by Squirrel. When we dropped here, right, we created an order block and a SIBI. This bearish order block and this SIBI, their job is to keep price down when you trade back up into them, right? As we're trading back up into the order, the fair value gap and the bearish order block, we are creating a BISI, right? So the algorithm is leaving you a little clue that it may not want to respect this, right? So when this expansion candle was created, we closed above the high of this candle here. That's giving you a possibility of creating a BISI. So right there, you can be like, uh-oh, I might be on the wrong side. And then when this candle creates this BISI, right, then you're like, whoa, yeah, I may be on the wrong side. I might want to wait and feel this thing out. And then you see here, when we trade back into the BISI, right, we continue up and get a break in market structure to the upside. And then you have a BISI, right, sitting right there. And price trades back into it, right, and then pushes up into that SIBI there, right? Pushes up into that SIBI there. And then we pull back down again. What do we come back down to? Let order block right there. Right there where you were saying, hey, let me wait this thing out. Came right back to your order block right there. Did a little consolidating. And then we eventually worked our way up. So price is always going to give you clues. We may miss them, and then we blame these techniques don't work, but we missed the clues. We're missing the clues as price. I miss clues sometime too. I'm not Mr. Perfect. I miss clues too. That's how I know what clues to look for, because I go back and I study price. And I'm like, oh, I missed that last time. So the next time I see that, I'm like, hey, I remember you. You know gooder. Okay, so all right, so once we pushed up into this 6:30 p.m. Sibby over here, um, we pulled back down, like I said, into let order block, and then we consolidated there for a really long time, right? This is still all this is the holiday trading, right? And then we eventually got up, right? Took out the buy side, immediately reversed back down, um, creating relative equal lows right here. And we got some sell side resting down there that we did not take. And then we got a blast off taking out Friday's high. Right. So we blast off and took out Friday's high on the 11:30 a.m. candle yesterday. And we continued up, making a high on the opening candle at 6 p.m. last night. So that's that's Tuesday's trading open, right? Even though this candle is including all of this price over there, all this price is included because it's a holiday, right? So this is the opening at 6 p.m. for Tuesday's trading with the futures. Then we traded back down into the imbalance and this bullish order block right here. So we have a bullish order block right here, right there, right? Got a bullish order block there. And then you say, okay, Tim, why sometimes you include the wick and sometimes you don't? If the wick is overlapping with a fair value gap, I'll include the wick. If the wick is not overlapping with a fair value gap, I just go to the opening price. But at all times, I'm focusing on the opening price of the order block, right? I want to see the sensitivity when it comes into the wick if the wick is overlapping with a fair value gap, right? But I'm focusing on the opening price at all times because the algorithm is referring to the opening price, the open, high, low, and close. That's what the algorithm is looking at for every candle, the open, high, low, and close. And it remembers, you know what I'm saying, where the open, high, low, and close is, and you can grade them. You know what I'm saying? You can grade this teachable moment is being brought to you by Squirrel. You can grade any PD array, right? And what I mean grade, you put it in the fourth grade, mean you break it down into 4 quarters. You put a fib on there. I'm looking for the wrong thing. You put a fib on there from the high to the low of the PD array that you're looking at. I don't care if it's a fair value gap or order block a breaker. Then you put it into quadrants, right? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you on your fib, if you put a 0, a 25%, a 50%, a 75%, and 100%, right? It gives you 4 quarters, right? That's what I mean. And so now you got 4 quadrants. And if you look right there, when we come back into this order block, right, we are respecting the top 25%. The sensitivity is in the top 25%. You want the sensitivity of any PD array. You really want to see it in the first 25% and down to the 50%, but you really want to see it there. And then if we focus on the opening price, see how the bodies of the candle are sitting on the opening price of that order block right there, right? And it's dipping down. It dipped down to that 25%. In this case, you can see that it went to that 25%. Why? Because we have an imbalance right there. So we're feeling that entire imbalance while we're respecting the order block. The order block's job is to block price from coming back down and protect this low, right? That teachable moment was brought to you by Squirrel. Okay, now, once we hit the order block, hey, come back to what them equal lows I was just talking about. How about that? Let's see if we get to them. All right, let's see if we get to those equal lows that we were talking about right over there. Yeah, and then we went up, took out that buy side here. We blast off, took out that buy side, and then we got up there, consolidated a little bit. Then we came back down and inverted this BISI there. So now that we've inverted that BISI right there, we can anticipate that to act as an inversion fair value gap until it pushes down and takes care of some type of business. And thus far, at the 9:30 open, and if you're still listening, Jada, if you're still listening, you see right here how at the 9:30 open, price pushed up above midnight, right? Pushed up above the daily open, hit the anticipatory reactionary point of this inversion fair value gap, and then we sold down immediately, going below this sell side right there. There's your low hanging fruit. If you would have been participating in that trade, take off at the low hanging fruit, right? You are watching this imbalance right here to see how price reacts there. You can even take some off because you say, hey, we're coming back down into the last down close candle of this order block right here. All right, we're coming down into the last down close candle of the order block there. You know, you may want to trim some there, and then you have these relative equal lows right here, right? Depending on if you got the size on your trade, if you got multiple contracts or not, right? That can be a place to trim some. You got all of these little stops in between here where you can take profits. You know, you got all these little stops where you can look to take profits. And the reason why you would want to be taking profits, especially if you're trading in eval accounts like Apex that has trailing drawdown, because the last thing you want to do is let your trade come this far and then come all the way back up here and stop you out at break even. And that, just say if you got one ES, let's say if you happen to get short on the you was watching this and you said, I'm going to get short on this inversion fair value gap because it's right there in line with this bearish breaker right over here. We got a bearish breaker right over here. This is your bearish breaker here, the inversion fair value gap right there. And then if we look at this bearish breaker here, right, boom, the mean threshold of that bearish breaker is right there in line with this fair value gap. So you say, I'm going to get short when it touches that fair value gap because it's in line with the bearish breaker mean threshold, and price come all the way down here, right? That's it. Then came 10 points in your favor on the ES, right? So 10 points in your favor on the ES, that would be $500, right? And then let's just say when price came 10 points into your favor, you said, hey, I don't want to stop me out for a loss. I'm going to move my stop to better than break even. I'm going to put it above these down close candles right here, right? And let's just say price decides that it's just hitting you with a Judas swing at the open right there. And then it comes back from these 10 points in your favor and stops you out right there. Now that came back 8.5 points, right? It came back 8.5 points. So you end up getting stopped out of a trade. Yes, you made 1.5 points, which would be, you know, $60, $70 was what is that? Come here, calculator. 50 times 1.5. 75. You made $75, but guess what? You are now $425 in drawdown because your account went up $500 and then it came back and stopped you out at $75. So now you're in 425 points of drawdown on your trailing threshold. Yes, your account would be positive $75, but now you only have you only have $1,075 of drawdown left because it went $500 in the positive. This teachable moment was brought to you by Squirrel. All right, man. That's all I got for the overnight price action. Y'all got several teachable moments today. I can't remember all the teachable moments, but you got several. You got several. If you enjoyed this, please hit the like button. If you think someone else will get something out of this, please hit the share button and share it with them, if you will. If you have any questions, it's 9:54. Let's have it. Come on. What questions do you have? What's up, Lump? What's going on, Avery? Avery, I ain't seeing you in a month of Sundays. What's going on, JM? What's going on, Deborah? Shonister. Oh, Sean, no, I messed that all up. Sean Stinner. Sean Steiner. Is that Sean Steiner? Great gems, per usual. Thank you. Sean Steiner. Since you said per usual, I'm assuming this ain't your first time, but that's my first time ever seeing that name, Sean Steiner. If it's not, I jollipies. Sean, if it's not the first time. But thank you. That's it, man. I don't see nothing in the chat. I don't hear nobody unmuting, asking nothing in the Discord. So I guess we'll go ahead and wrap it up. And not in that way. Again, if you enjoyed what you saw today, please hit the like button and share it with someone who you think might get something out of it. Again, if you think you're ready to try a prop firm, I use Apex. I have an Apex link in the description. I appreciate everybody that's been using my Apex link. They have 90% off now until midnight on the 30th. Hey, take advantage. You can buy it now for 90% off. And if you don't pass in a month, or if you decide you don't want to trade it, and the next month you're going to get 80% off, whatever it is. So if you buy a 25K account today and say you just want to buy it for $14.70, but you don't plan on trading it for another month or so, next month is going to renew at $29 and some change. It's 80% off, right? It's 80% off because right now you can get it for under $15, and when it's 80% off, it's like $29.70, I think. Yes. Okay. I wasn't gonna go to the gym till about 11, but y'all gonna be back by 11? Okay. All right. Yeah. So, hey man, that's it, man. I know this might feel like an Apex ad today, but guess what? I said I was going to start talking about my affiliate link more because I started noticing people are using it, and I started noticing that little change start adding up. I ain't mad at getting like a little $200-300 a month just by saying, hey, can you use my affiliate link? And if I say it more, I might be able to get $500-600 a month. I don't know. So I'm going to say it more. And we did just take out those equal lows. Remember them relative equal lows I was talking about over here? Did we get it? Y'all remember when I said we created them equal lows? Yes, we did. There is beyond the knowledge of you an algo that's hidden in plain sight. Hey, man. Hey, if you're going to trade today, please trade safe. If you're not going to trade, please take a copious amounts of notes so that you can study what you saw transpire today and apply it to your future trading endeavors. Again, my name is Timothy Lee Rogers Sr., a.k.a. Aranya grande. That's Big Spider. For those who don't hablo español, man, y'all be safe out here in these trading streets, man. I'm gone.